Good evening. Welcome to Obscure Tales of the Strange and Supernatural. I'm your host, Melissa Angel, and tonight, as requested by a viewer, I will be sharing the rather bizarre tale of the Bremerton Monstrosity. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this obscure tale of the strange and supernatural. Bremerton is a large coastal naval port city on the Kitsap Peninsula in Washington state. During World War II, Bremerton was home to an estimated 80,000 residents. This was due to the opportunities for work in shipbuilding, repair, and maintenance due to the war effort. It was in Bremerton in 1948 that the strange story of Virginia Staples and the Bremerton Monstrosity would take place. It was an ordinary day for Virginia. In need of doing laundry, she gathered up the clothing and left her apartment. Heading to the basement where the machines were located in the apartment building in which she resided, Virginia paid little attention to the familiar scene of the rundown basement. As Virginia was washing her clothing, she couldn't shake the feeling she was being watched. Finally, giving in to the ever-growing feeling, Virginia turned around. Letting out a scream, horrified by what she was seeing, Virginia fled the basement. Packing all of her belongings in a hurry, Virginia moved out of her apartment that same day. Virginia Staples would eventually leave a phone message for author and paranormal investigator Mark Chovinsky, who went on to publish her account in Strange Magazine, issue number 6, on October 8, 2017. This is Virginia's actual account of that day in 1948. Hi, my name is Virginia Staples, and in 1948, I lived in Bremerton, Washington. The apartment where I lived had a gigantically huge basement. There were huge holes in the walls, and the apartment house manager used to tell me that it was rumored that there was a passage to the water. The huge apartment houses were so close together, and they all had basements, and they were all old buildings. There was a washer and a wash tub and a clothesline. And on this particular day, I had gotten my clothes all hung up, but I kept feeling someone was staring at me or looking at me, and it was such a creepy feeling I finally turned around and looked towards the back of the basement and froze. I was so scared, and I can still feel it. I couldn't move. In one of the huge holes in the basement, there stood this thing. Virginia would start to break down here. Oh, it was horrible. I stand 5 foot tall, and this creature was as tall as I was. It had a bright orange-colored body and little spidery thin legs and antennae on its head that kept moving back and in and out. Virginia would start crying now. That thing started towards me. I backed out of the basement and got up to my apartment, and I packed all my things and moved. I was so scared. I moved over to Seattle to my cousins. I went to an aquarium to see if I could see anything that looked like what it was, and the only thing that I could find that looked anything like it was this tiny shrimp, but it just doesn't make sense. I had horrible nightmares for years. I finally got up enough nerve a couple years ago to go back to revisit Bremerton, but the Navy has enlarged so much and the apartment house on Denny Street has been torn down. Really, nobody would really believe this, but as God is my witness, it really happened. As I was researching this tale, I tried to find out if there had been others who had reported seeing a similar creature, but I was unable to find any other reports. I find myself wondering if other tenants of Virginia's apartment building had their own encounters but never came forward to speak about it for fear of ridicule. What do you think? Did Virginia see something unexplainable, perhaps an escaped government experiment? Or did a creepy rundown basement inspire her imagination to run wild? Leave a comment and tell us your opinion. Also, if you have a request for a video, leave a comment. I'm always happy to receive video requests. That concludes this week's Obscure Tales of the Strange and Supernatural. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell too. I post new tales every Friday night. Keep an eye out for my new series, Mysteries and Legends of the High Seas, premiering tomorrow night at 8 o'clock p.m. New York time. Here's a preview of the new series.